I'm Katie Ashley. I'm the horticulture agent here in Jackson County, and today we're going to be going on a virtual field tour of the Christmas tree farms to showcase what we're doing here in Jackson County. So come along with me and we'll have some interviews with a couple of our growers, and I hope you can learn something new. Our first stop is Buck Knob Farm, where we interviewed Tom Waller. So we'll start with just introducing yourself. Can you tell us who you are and what you do?
My name's Tom Waller, and my wife Lynn and I have this little farm here and have since 1997, I think it is, and we're about half-time people here.
And what got you into Christmas tree farming?
Just looked like a good thing to do, and there's so many beautiful farms around that you kind of see and enjoy driving by that we kind of thought that it might be easier than it is, but it's not so easy.
Yeah, what are some challenges you've had?
It seems like we forever are fighting weeds and bugs and the usual stuff, but and that's been pretty much it. Just learning as we go challenges too.
Exactly. Yeah. Always important to learn as you go.
Yeah.
How many acres do you have here?
There's a total of like 38, but there's only like about 15 that we could put trees on.
Awesome.
And we don't have those 15 filled up now.
Yeah, and approximately how many trees do you have?
We usually keep around 6,000.
6,000.
Something like that.
Very nice. And whenever you do, because you are a choose and cut operation, so whenever people come to purchase trees, how many visitors do you typically have?
It's kind of hard to say. I would say on a given year, probably maybe 150 plus or minus. And we're only open just the Thanksgiving weekend and then the following weekend. Mm-hmm. So we're fairly limited in what we have.
Exactly.
As far as time and availability.
And keep it streamlined and focused in on that really critical.
That's it. Yeah, beyond that, it really gets to be standing around a lot.
Awesome. And what would you say, are there any innovative things that you're doing here that you think make you special?
No, not really. We're still learning the basics, I would say.
Yeah.
Even after the period of time that we have been doing it, we're still learning as we go.
Yeah, that's great though. So you're definitely on the right path. Absolutely.
I hope so.
And does your family play a role at all in this? You mentioned your wife.
Yeah, Lynn does. She's the champion cookie maker during season. She'll do, for each day she'll do like 8 or 10 dozen cookies and drinks, cider, hot chocolate, coffee, and such. So she really works hard at that. Our two boys live away from here, so no, they're not involved. We have one that comes home from Colorado, and he'll come home during season and help us on a little bit of wholesale stuff.
Awesome. It sounds like an innovative thing. You said you didn't have anything, but Lynn being the baker and making cookies, that's certainly a huge innovation.
It is. It's I think it's harder than the Christmas tree work.
I bet.
Yeah.
Awesome. And what, with this current situation, the health crisis, what are some health and safety precautions that you're planning to take this year?
We haven't really fleshed all that out,
mm-hmm.
but actually, obviously, things like distancing to the extent that we can, hand sanitizer stations, where the people come to, get a pole and go find their tree and then come and pay. We'll have masks available for anyone that doesn't have one or would like to have one, and that's pretty much it.
Awesome. Sounds like you're keeping a lot in mind and taking the best precautions you can given the circumstances.
Hope so.
Is there anything else you want to share about your operation?
That's pretty much about it. It's really, we do a combination of choose and cut and some wholesale. Less wholesale due to just shortage of trees that we've had the last couple of years, but we enjoy doing it, and we have two ladies that are very, very good wreath makers, and we have a fairly decent wreath business that we also enjoy doing. But other than that, I'm still learning. So.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you so much, Tom.
Okay, thank you.
Our next stop is Bear Valley Farm, where we interviewed Jerry McAbee. Introduce yourself.
Yes, my name's Jerry McAbee. I'm the manager here and part owner of Bear Valley Farm, LLC, and we've had this operation going on this particular spot for about 4 years. It's relatively new property that we acquired a few years back, and we're just getting started on this. This will be our main choose and cut operation eventually.
What got you into Christmas tree farming?
Well, being a forester and trained in forestry, I've always had a love for growing trees. And after I decided to leave the Extension Service, I decided to go into growing Christmas trees instead of practicing forestry. But one thing, I just was sort of intrigued in the way trees are grown and managed and marketed, and I just decided to give that a try, and I've never looked back since about 1987.
Wow, that's great. And how many acres do you have here?
There's 100 acres jointly on this farm. There's this relatively new tract that we've had about 5 years now. We've got the other tract that we've had about 15 years, and we're working on our second rotation in the older part of the farm.
Very nice. And roughly how many trees does that?
Well, right now there's only about 50,000 planted. We're planting as we can get the seedlings, and it's going to take a few years to get it all planted. Of course, we don't want to plant it all in 1 year.
Right.
We need to stagger it out to maintain our inventory.
So as a choose and cut operation, how many visitors do you typically have out here to purchase trees?
We had 1,500 visitors last year.
Wow.
It averaged about 3 people per family. We've had as many as 6 or 8 people in a family, and usually they take 1 tree. But it was interesting, fun, and they had fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Can you describe a little bit about what your operation looks like and what the experience looks like here?
Well, what we do is the people come in, we meet them here, and give them their name tag, and they take that name tag out and they tie it on the tree. Then we bring it back. This year we're going to have 3 of these wagons running, partially to keep people separated and keep things moving. And as they come back, we take the tree off the tractor, we bale it, and they'll give the baler the receipt, and he'll tie the tree on top of the car. And we don't do a lot of deliberate entertaining. We kind of provide the environment to let people entertain themselves. We have the fire pit, and we always have a fresh pot of cowboy coffee on there, and everybody enjoys that. Even if they don't like coffee, they tried it and said, "Hey, this is great. How do you do it?" And, we have to explain how to make cowboy coffee.
That's
And
awesome.
we have memorabilia here that they can purchase: sweatshirts, coffee mugs, tree ornaments, and all of the accessories that go along with the tree. If they need one, the stands and the funnels and the rugs and so
Really a
forth.
one-stop shop.
Yeah, well, we try to be. We tried some live music here last year, and even had a food truck here. But we learned real quick that we don't have the parking space because they won't come and spend 3-4 hours. And we had cars parked up and down the road and up the hill and on the other side of the road down in the trees. And we learned real quick we can't do live music anymore.
Yeah, I bet that was a fun time, but you're definitely right about the parking.
Yeah.
What role does your family play in this business?
The wife helps me here during the choose and cut operation. Manage the people and collect the money, and runs we use the Cricket credit card system. And 2 people was trained last year, and we see that we're going to have about 3 people trained again this year, but that's one of her jobs.
Awesome.
Just kind of keep everything moving and trying to keep people happy.
Very nice. And so since this year's a little bit of a different year with everything going on with the health crisis, what are some of the safety precautions you're planning to take?
I've already mentioned we have 3 wagons going, and we're just going to make a complete rotation around through the trees. And we'll have a tent here in front of the barn. Instead of having everybody inside looking at the memorabilia and things like that, we'll have it displayed in the tent. We'll have to spread our fire pit out a little bit, and just encourage people not to huddle together. Of course, we'll have sanitation stations here on the wagon, try to keep them separated the best we can.
Right. Absolutely. Do the best you can.
Yeah. It's going to be an interesting year. We'll kind of have to play it by ear and learn as we go.
Absolutely.
Make adjustments, be ready to make adjustments and accommodations.
Always good to be prepared. Well, thank you so much, Jerry.
You're welcome.
And of course, No trip to Bear Valley Farm would be complete without a wagon ride. So, Jerry, can we go for a ride?
We can go. Yes, ma'am.
Our next stop is to John Brown's former field, where we met up with Charles Fowler to talk about tools for reforesting a Christmas tree field.
What we're demonstrating here is how to reforestation a field that was planted in Christmas trees. The owner of this farm is John Brown. He had it in trees and was not planning on resetting it, so he wanted to fix it to where he could easily mow it and get the stumps out of it. So we took a forestry head and we ground all the stumps and the debris that was left in the field. We left it on the ground so that we could have no washes. We ground it on the 20th of March. On the 21st of March he came back, and the first half you'll see he showed a mixture, and you'll have clovers and grasses and some weeds still. And on the other part he did a Kentucky 31. The debris has deteriorated quite a bit in this year. And then we have two plots. One is we were going to do a demonstration of a 3-point hitch stump grinder. The gentleman out of Ohio was planning on doing that. And then we were going to take the forestry head and have it here and demo what we did on the rest of this. So that is what this demonstration was for. And to my right here, this is where we haven't done anything. And we'll go over there in just a minute, and John mowed in just a little bit so we could see what kind of debris we had when we ground all this with a forestry head. Okay, this is again is some of the debris that we ground, and you can ground with a forestry head. And even if you're going to plant it back, in my opinion, it's smart to do this. It makes it much better running your equipment across it. You don't have the stumps, and it does rot quicker because of the breaking of the stump up, and it doesn't seal on it. So to me it was a good trial, and I will be continuing to do this in my field. Okay, this is the debris when we had left, and we left this in the field to keep from it erosion. Some of this is fairly steep, so you'll have this all over where we mulched it with a forestry head.
Our final stop on the farm tour is Pressley Tree Farm, where we met with Scott and Nancy Pressley. Alrighty. Could you tell me a little bit about who you are and what we're doing out here?
I'm Scott Pressley. This is my wife Nancy. This is a Pressley Tree Farm, and I guess this is our farm tour this year, video farm tour.
Absolutely. And when did you begin your operation out here?
We started growing trees ourselves in 1975, and I got out of the military in 1972. Nancy and I got married in 1972, and I got started in Christmas trees by two ways. One was hauling for a friend of mine who in the summertime would come up on vacation, go to the same church where we go, and he started taking a few trees back to Del Rey with him. And it expanded from a pickup to a pickup pulling a trailer to needing bigger trucks, which I started helping him with that. And he was buying from Tommy Butel at the time, Wolf Mountain down here. So we actually got started that way, and then another friend of mine from Florida was setting some trees up here and had some extra seedlings. And and I traded him out of the seedlings to put on a field where I didn't need for our row cropping, and that's how we first started setting trees, or the reason we first started setting trees.
That's great. And how many acres do you have here?
We have about, we have a total of around 13,000 trees, so that's just a little over 10 acres actually in trees.
That's not 10. Yeah, I guess it is.
Yeah, something like
I
that
can't
anyway.
keep track of it. There's a lot of
We-
trees for us.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
we are a small grower, family owned and operated. We hire a little bit of help, mainly in harvest, and the rest of the time while our kids and spouses and grandkids take care of the rest.
Absolutely.
Some friends. We've got a UPS driver that works with us part-time. So I've known him since he was about yay big, and I just cornered him one day and I said, Ben, how about helping us in the trees? And he said, sure. And
That's great.
one of our son-in-law's friends from his CrossFit comes, so they get a free workout.
Exactly, a free CrossFit exercise. CrossFit Christmas trees. So family plays a pretty big role out here in your business.
Definitely.
For
That's
sure.
why we do it. We wanted to be able to turn over an established business to our kids, whether they want to do this, as a major part of their income or as a sideline, which is, basically what it is right now.
Absolutely, absolutely. Important to keep it in the family.
Yes.
And so you do a choose and cut. How many visitors do you typically have out here to purchase trees?
I think we estimated probably around 300 when you figure in grannies and kids and grandkids. We get quite a few families. A lot of people have come back for several years, and we've made some really, really good friends through this.
Awesome. That's really great. And what are some innovative things that you all are doing out here?
Well, we do have a shaker to shake the excess needles out of a tree so that you can not have quite such a mess when you get it in. That's one thing a lot of people are, they don't like about a live tree. There's a little bit more mess, but it's all good.
Exactly.
And,
Definitely worth the mess.
Definitely.
For sure. Let's see, we also have a driller that we can drill in the base of the tree. It drills up, it's got a pointed drill bit that drills up into it, and then when you're ready to set it up, you take the tree, you set it on the stand, boom, you're done. Well, I call it the marriage saver because it can save a lot of arguments, a lot of fussing, and it's so much easier. And
Right.
everybody agrees with me. We've had people come back after they've purchased their stand and say we wouldn't do it any other way.
Absolutely.
It's a lot better.
Given the situation this year, it's a little bit of a strange year. Are you taking any extra safety precautions for the visitors?
We will strongly recommend that everybody continue with their social distancing, and we'll have to do that, and that's going to be hard for me because I'm a hugger. But I'll have to restrain myself. We will have masks on hand for anybody that needs them, sanitizer, and the general nature of the farm is, you're automatically pretty much socially distant.
Absolutely. It helps that the trees are set about 6 feet apart, right?
It does.
Yeah.
Awesome.
One good way of judging where everybody's at.
Exactly. A very easy visual cue. Is there anything else that you'd like to share about your operation that you have here?
Well, first of all, it's a joy to work with your family, and that was our whole. Well, in the beginning, that was in the background. It's more in the forefront now, as I'm getting a little older and need a little more help and things like that. But it's really satisfying to come out here and with your kids and your grandkids and your friends. And friends show up to get a tree, and giving them a good tree at a good, reasonable price is what we try to stay with. Our overhead isn't terribly big, so we take that in consideration. But it's just being around people and making friends, as well as making a little bit of money at it. And we're a little low key. We're not, we're kind of middle of the road on our farm here, on the things we offer. And that's one of the most pleasing parts about it. is the people you meet and the friends you make.
Awesome. Well,
One thing that I've always enjoyed is how much some people are totally blown away by the views that we have here. Looking out toward Glenville Lake, Glass Rock, Big Ridge, and they just really get a thrill from it, because we have some people, we have one family from, where is it in Florida?
Orlando, I believe it is. One
And
you
they make
refer to. Yeah,
it
it's
is
a family.
their family trip to come up
Yeah.
here to get their tree.
3-car loads.
wow,
Yeah,
that's fabulous.
yeah. Honda Odysseys, all 3 of them. We
Plenty
put
of
some
room
good-
for trees.
We put quite a few trees on those 3 Honda Odysseys.
And it's
Yeah.
funny because we get such a variety of vehicles. We had one guy came in a, what was it, that pickup that he had?
It's an antique Chevrolet, I don't know.
It was like this
46,
far off the ground.
48. And to get here, you do have to ford the creek. Thank goodness it's not very deep.
Exactly.
We've never had to close due to the high water, although we have had to close due to some snowfall. At this point, I'd like to say thank you to some people. One is Christy Briggenkamp, who helped us for years. She was our county agent before our present county agent here, and she helped us for years. And we do appreciate all that she did for us. Also, Jill and Jeff, we've got an ongoing experiment right now that they're involved with, and we sure, thank them for their input and advice, phone call away. I would like to say I miss Bill Glenn. I always enjoyed talking with him. He was a thrill to be around, and I do miss him. And now Katie's here with us as our county agent, and it's an ongoing thing. Another one is Amanda Buchanan, and she helped us with our pollinator program.
Do you girls love having these pollinator flowers out here?
Yeah.
Do you see a lot of beautiful bees and butterflies?
Yeah. Yeah.
Audrey, what likes the milkweed?
Butterfly.
Which one?
Monarch.
Nice.
There you go. That's one thing they want me to make sure of it. We got some milkweed for the monarch butterflies.
Absolutely. My sister loves
Yeah, I
having
don't
monarchs.
see any right here, but there's some
I
in the
thought I was
field out here.
explaining it to her, and she turned around and explained it to me.
That's amazing.
Thank you, girls.
Thank you.
But those people, I say thank you again to each and everyone that's helped us with this. It is appreciated, and our pollinator program is working pretty good. Try to help the honeybees out and the monarch butterflies and things like that. So we thank them for having us do it.
Awesome. And thank you for having us out here as part of our farm tour. We really appreciate it. Thank you for joining us on the Jackson County Virtual Farm Tour. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to your local extension office. And remember to pick real North Carolina Christmas trees.